All right. Shalom, shalom to all my brothers and sisters, Ak and Akadi, Akim. To those who follow the Most High, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, to our Creator. And today I just want to do a brief overview of something that I found in the Apocrypha, in the book of Second Maccabees, about Hellenization, about the Hellenized Jews. Most people will tell you that the people in Antioch and were Greeks. And even in the newer version of the Maccabees, the Second Maccabees, these particular verses don't even say Hellenized. They actually say Greek or Grecian. So this is Second Maccabees chapter 4, and it's talking about Jason the high priest. So I'm going to read some of this from Jason was basically a terrible, wicked Israelite or Jew. And let's just read from 7 on down to a little bit. But Seleucus died, and when Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, succeeded him on the throne, Onias' brother Jason obtained the high priesthood by corrupt means. In an interview, he promised the king 360 talents of silver, as well as 80 talents from another source of income. Besides this, he would undertake to pay 150 more if he was given authority to establish a gymnasium and a youth center for it, and to enroll Jerusalemites as citizens of Antioch. So this is where the Grecians started the gymnasiums, and gymnasium pretty much was a place of butt-naked wrestling. So that's pretty much what this guy Jason was trying to do. It doesn't say that he was a homosexual or anything like that, but if he was looking to do this in a Greek manner, and he was actually a Jew from Judea, then he was wicked. So let's continue. And as it did say also, the people from Jerusalem, he wanted them to be citizens of Antioch, right? So that kills all the people saying that all the people in Antioch were Grecians and whatnot. That simple statement right there tells you that there were Israelites in Antioch. So let's keep going. When Jason, this is verse 10, when Jason received the king's approval and came into office, he immediately initiated his compatriots into the Greek way of life. He set aside the royal concessions granted to the Jews through the mediation of John, father of Eupolemus. That Eupolemus, who would later go on an embassy to the Romans to establish friendship and alliance with them. He set aside the law practices and introduced customs contrary to the law. Contrary to the law. So contrary to God's law, he set aside lawful practices and introduced customs contrary to the law. With perverse delight, he established a gymnasium. So it says, basically, he was a pervert. Perverse delight. With perverse delight, he established a gymnasium at the very foot of the citadel, where he induced the noblest young men to wear the Greek hat. The craze for Hellenism and the adoption of foreign customs reached such a pitch through the outrageous wickedness of Jason, the renegade and would-be high priest, that the priests no longer cared about the service of the altar. Disdaining the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, they hastened at the signal for the games to take part in the unlawful exercises at the arena. So these men who were high priests followed Jason, and they no longer wanted to keep God's law. They wanted to be Grecians. That's why some of the disciples were sent to Antioch to get our young men back in line with the law. Okay, so I'll continue. What their ancestors had regarded as honors, they despised. What the Greeks esteemed as glory, they prized highly. For this reason, they found themselves in serious trouble. The very people whose manner of life they emulated and whom they desired to imitate in everything became their enemies and oppressors. So the Greeks eventually became the oppressors of the Israelites who were trying to be like them. Same as our Hebrew brothers and sisters today. And I'll go back up here to where it tells you about the Hellenism. 13, the craze for Hellenism and the adoption of foreign customs reached such a pitch through the outrageous wickedness of Jason, the renegade and would-be high priest, that the priest no longer cared about the service of the altar. So he took it upon himself to create a whole new system of being with the Grecians, with the Greeks. So that right there in itself just took Israelites out of their way of life, even in Jerusalem. And he took Jerusalem, as they called them, Jerusalemites here. He took them to Antioch and basically made them Greeks, pretty much. So, and the first Christians were called Christian at Antioch, right? So that's all. I just wanted to make a quick video about that. You can look this up yourself. It doesn't use the word Hellenism in the newer versions of the Apocrypha or Maccabees. You'll probably have to look up a different version. I'm using, this one is from the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, which I don't even know what that is, but and I found another one in another Google search that actually said Hellenist. Every time it says Greek here, it said Hellenist. So those were Hellinized Jews, people who were following the doctrine of Jason, the wicked Israelite, the wicked Judite, and he was turning them into Hellenist Greeks. That's it. Shalom.